Okay, so for today we're going to be looking at what the parts of a circle are. And this is a really fun lesson. Just want to go ahead and preface with that. And in order to know what the parts of a circle are, we need to ask Alfred for help. So, Alfred, can you give us a circle? Thank you. Thanks, Alfred. All right, so let's go ahead and get the circle a little bit bigger. So, I think that the first part that we need to talk about when we're talking about parts of a circle is the center. So I'm going to try my best to make it the center. Let's see if I can pull this off. Somewhere like maybe around here. So let's say that center point is point A. So that point A spell point right here. Point A is the center. Center of the circle, or just the center. Okay, great. So what happens if we have something else like, what happens if we have a line segment running from one side of the circle, from one edge of the circle to another edge? Okay, let's go ahead and get a ruler. This is math, so we want to make sure we're exact. Okay, so we have a line segment there. Let's put the ruler to the side for now. And pretend that I made this really, really good. So it's like one point is here, another point is here. That's a line segment. And line segment, we'll call line segment BC. So you can say that line segment BC, that's what we call a chord. Okay, a chord is like a line segment that's just like passing from one edge of a circle to the other edge, but it's not passing through the middle. Okay, if it were passing through the middle, we would have something entirely different. Let me show you what that looks like. So let's pretend we had another line segment. And I need a ruler for this one again. And let's pass it through the middle. Okay, that's close enough. That's pretty good. Let's pretend that it was right in the center of that center. And let's call it line segment D, E. Okay, so that line segment D, E, when it passes right through the center, that line segment is called the diameter. Diameter. Okay, so DE, line segment DE, is the diameter. So we've identified a point. Okay, here we go. So the point is right here. We've identified a line segment that goes from one edge of the circle to the other edge. And that's called a chord if it doesn't pass through the middle. And we've identified a line segment that goes from one edge, passes through the center, the middle of the circle, the center point, and goes to the other edge, and that's called the diameter when it does that. This is really, really important. The diameter is really important for us to know. Okay, so what happens when you have something similar to the diameter, but it doesn't pass all the way through to the other side? It just gets from one edge of the circle to the center. Well, let's try that out. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my handy dandy ruler. And I'm going to do something like this. And I'm going to start here at the edge of the circle. Make sure that that's really good. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, so what I did is pretend that it's not sticking out so much, okay? You're going from one edge of the circle to the center of the circle right here. That line segment, which we're going to go ahead and call line segment AF. Okay? That line segment AF is called the radius. Now these words might be familiar to you. You may have heard them in passing, but you've never really known what they are. Well, this is what they are. And here's a fun fact. Radius in plural in conventional English is radiuses. But my favorite version is the Latin version, which is radii. This is very normal to use this Latin plural version. And it impresses people, so you should use it. Okay? So, these are the parts of a circle, and I want to see if we can name them by ourselves now. So I'm going to ask you that you pause your this recording to fill in for the following exercises. Okay? So let's first slide here. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that ruler for now, or just keep it down here. And so what I'm asking you to identify is, what do you call, let's see if you can name this. We actually didn't talk about this. I totally forgot to mention this piece. It's really important though. What do you call this part that measures around the circle? And really, you want to go for the outer edge. I'm not doing it perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the outer edge. So what do you call that measurement that measures the outer edge? The outer edge of a two-dimensional circle. Okay? So pause the video and see if you can name it. Okay, so I'm taking it that you pause the video, and that outer edge that we tried to outline here, that's not called the perimeter. Perimeters for shapes, two-dimensional shapes that are not circles. When it's a circle, the circle version of perimeter, okay, is circumference. Circumference is the measurement that is the outer, I'm doing it better this time, the outer edge around the circle. What we have learned that perimeter is, that's what perimeter is for circles. It's actually not perimeter. Don't ever call it that. It's circumference, and this is how you spell it. Okay? So hopefully you got that, and if you didn't, that's okay. And remember, it is the distance. Circumference is the distance around a circle. That's what circumference is. Okay, so here we have another picture, and I'm wondering if you remember from before what you call, let's take where this young lady has her hand, which is here. Okay, hope she's okay with this. And then where she's touching the other part of the hula hoop, which is very roughly around here. I mean very roughly. Okay, and we're going to use a ruler this time. We're going to see if we can do this. Okay, so what would you call this part of a circle? Okay, so pause the video and see if you can figure that out. What do you call that? So hopefully you pause the video, and that's a chord. If you put diameter, you wrote diameter, you guessed diameter, you were close, but no, it's the chord. So a chord goes from one edge of the circle to the another edge of the circle, but does not pass through the center. Pretend the center is somewhere like around here. It didn't pass through the center. Okay? What do you call the distance around the circle? What do you call this distance? See, by the time I finish doing the dotted yellow lines, the broken yellow lines. See if you can tell me what that distance is, and if you can spell it. Okay? It's called the circumference. Great. And what's this right here? That's the center. Center of the circle. All right, you're doing great so far. All right. So, what's the middle here called? Of the circle? Okay. What's that called? And what do you call from the middle, that middle of the circle, all the way to, pretend the edge is right here, and pretend that's a straight line. So I'm asking you two questions. What's this? And what's the middle? So the middle is the center. And a line that goes from the center to the edge, or from the edge to the center, either way, it's called the radius. How do you say radius in plural? Well, my favorite way of saying it is radii. That's a plural version. Okay, great. You're doing awesome so far. Now, let's go ahead and do them all. So what's this? Let's change the color up a little bit. What's this point? Point A? What's from point A to the edge? And I'm just going to freehand it. So from point A to point B. And let's freehand this one more time. All the way to the edge here. I know it's not perfect. Pretend this is the edge. Let's make that C, point C. And what else? What are we missing? Oh yeah, of course. How could I forget? What if you just have like from one edge of the circle to another edge? Let's call that D, E. Okay, so can you name them? Okay, so point A, let me make that more like a point, or write it down with a color that you can see better. Oh, there we go. Point A equals the center. Line segment CA. Okay, so C and then A. That line segment, that right there would be the radius. And then line segment CB, that means it passes. What we're doing is we're passing through the center. Pretend this is a straight line to B. That's the diameter. And then the bottom, line segment DE, down here, that's just a chord. And what we missed is, we missed all around, right? And all around is a circumference. So see if you can take this image, which is pretty neat, if I do say so myself. See if you can take this image and label everything you can. Go. Okay, so I hope you took that seriously, and if you did, here's what you got. This is the center right here, right? Practice makes better. Center. From here to here. You could have done it with any one that you want. And oh, I didn't aim that right, but it should have gone right through the center. Let's just make the center bigger. How's that? Just for example sake. From there to there, that's the radius. Okay, but if it kept on going to the other side, it would be the diameter. If you measured around the whole circle here, there's wheel. If you measured around the entire thing, that's the circumference. That distance is the circumference, and we'll talk about the formula for the circumference a little later. Okay. If you, by any chance, remember to add a chord somewhere, maybe from here to here. Okay, that was close enough. That's your chord. And just for fun, we didn't talk about this before, but what do you call all the space, all of the area that makes up the inside of this circle, if you could fill it out? And if it was 2 dimensions, which by the way it's not, in case you're wondering what that is, if I did it correctly all the way, it will be the area. Okay, fantastic. So far that's pretty good. I think we can stop right there. And for your assignment, is going to be IXL. It's going to be IXL, and it will be A dot 10, and it's that's your assignment. AA dot 10, parts of a circle. It's called parts of a circle. Parts of a circle. Good luck.